Hi friends, Benita from Knitting in the Mitten. I've been doing a lot of knitting lately. I don't really have anything to show you right this second, but I've made a lot of cowls. And what I'm working on right now is called The Shift. And it looks something like this. But I am using some yarn that my colleague gave me, and it's called Crazy. And it is crazy. So if you know me, you know I need a plan. I need to know where I'm going, how I'm getting there. So this is stretching me a bit because you really don't know what the yarn is going to do. So it was, I don't know what it was doing, but then it turned into this candy cane yarn. And in a little bit, it's going to turn into this, which has some gray in it. So I have 3 balls because you're supposed to use 3 different colors, and I'm just using 3 balls of Crazy. So yeah, you just never know what's going to happen. In a little bit, I'm going to be adding this one, which has yellow in it. So yeah, my finished product is going to be a little wacky, and that's okay. So this is what I have so far. It has 7 different sections, and each section has an 8-row repeat. And so this is what I've got so far. I should have done something here at the beginning because the 2 yarns that I used were very close together, but one of them had kind of some yellow in it, and so it looks a little too funky, but that's okay. So I am just proceeding. I wasn't sure I loved it, but I decided it was a project that if you set it aside, if I set it aside, it'll probably sit in the basket for a few years and then I'll rip it out. So I decided to just go for it. I am currently 2 rows from finishing section 4, and obviously each section gets a little bit bigger. Right now I'm just increasing on one end every other row. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Hi friends. I finished my Crazy shift. So yeah, it did end up being kind of crazy. These are not colors I would have picked off the shelf and put together. I will show you a picture of when I was blocking it so you can see how it turned out. And when I blocked it, so putting it together was interesting because I started knitting it here, so you knit it that way. But then when you sew it together, you sew this edge and this edge together. So you knit it this way, you end up down here, so this is where you bind off, and then you sew those together. So it's kind of interesting. And yeah, so I like how it turned out. It was a good lesson in just letting the yarn do what it wants to do, for the most part. This is the yarn called Crazy. It's from stonehengefibermill.com. And the pattern is called The Shift by Andrea Mowry. Right there, Andrea Mowry. So anyway, I would probably do it again. The pattern was easy to follow. I'm done, and so hope that you'll consider making a shift. I'm kind of procrastinating these days because I do have yarn to make a new sweater, but it kind of getting started on a new sweater is can be a challenge because you want to make sure you have the gauge right and all that, and the right size needles for the yarn. And I don't like to make a gauge swatch, so I just start knitting, and then I often have to rip it out because the gauge isn't right, but that's okay. I'm going to get going on that one of these days, maybe today. But my next project is called the Sideways Cowl, and I'm kind of hooked on Knit Picks yarn. So this is their, I think this is their Swish, or their Chroma worsted Chroma. So anyway, it's kind of fun what it's doing. You do a left slanting twist, and then you do a right slanting twist. So I'm getting towards the end. It's kind of a long cowl, so I'll probably make another one that's much smaller. This was just kind of an experiment to see what happened. So that's what I'm doing today.